Welcome to the ship's galley. Tonight we'll be making a quick Andorian schnitzel. We will be having some avian visitors who are dignitaries, and they seem to like that. So we're going to make that up. It's a quick and easy dish. It's kind of the cheater version for those unexpected visits. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cheat by getting pre-sliced chicken breasts that are thin. This eliminates the need to pound out the chicken in order to make it thin, which is really kind of the trick to schnitzel, if you're doing chicken schnitzel, which we are. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit it with the egg, and then we're going to hit it with the breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs doesn't matter, and in fact the egg that we're using is a egg beaters type egg. And here's one of our dignitaries that just popped in for a second. So you just give it a good coating, and meanwhile what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up some corn oil in the pan. I'm very liberal with the oil. You probably don't need to be. So here we go. While that's heating up, I will do another piece of chicken. You know, the Vulcans claim to be vegetarian all the time, but I catch them grabbing a snack of these things every once in a while, but I'm not supposed to tell. But everybody likes schnitzel, especially Andorian schnitzel. So you coat these really good. One per person generally works, but then when people really dig it, they'll want seconds. So plan accordingly. This is just being served to a small contingent of people, so I only have 4. We have a very personal ensemble of dignitaries coming from off planet. So then you just stick it in the pan, and you're going to let it cook up. Now I am sticking it in a little early. Usually you want it to be a little hotter, but it doesn't really matter because it will heat up pretty quick. These Federation stoves cook up very fast. They tend to heat up quickly, and we like that. So I'm going to put the last 2 in here. And I see my assistant is doing some placement of some of our various sensor equipment. Even in the galley, we like to remain high tech and have all the best of that the Federation has to offer. We have some temperature sensors, some light control, because you know our light panels need to be constantly adjusted for optimal lighting. So I'm putting the final one in, and while that starts cooking, we're doing a review of our position in the ship, because this galley, since this is a small ship, is right next to engineering. So we have to be careful, because when the airlock opens there, we have to make sure that door is closed. So this is cooking up, and while that's going, we're going to move on to a couple of things here. We're going to add to this dish some sauerkraut. And being that this is Andorian style sauerkraut, it's going to need some onions, because you know everybody loves onions. So we're going to cheat, and we're going to use our pre-cooked bacon. Instead of frying up regular bacon, we're going to take pre-cooked bacon and cook it in some butter till it gets a little bit crispy. And we're going to be using the same exact procedure for the potatoes, so I'll do that in just a moment. That's why I'm leaving half of it here. And I'm going to dump in, after that melts, I'm going to dump in the onions, but not quite yet. So I'm going to go grab more butter from here. This is not a healthy, low-fat meal. These Andorians, they just don't seem to want to control the caloric intake. Bam, more butter. So we will put that one on. Meanwhile, you can see that everything's sizzling up over here. Once it cooks thoroughly, we'll flip it, and that should be good to go. So I'm going to dump the rest of my bacon into this other pot where the potatoes are going to go. So we're done with this. We got our high-tech silicone spoons. We like those. I have quickly cut up everything beforehand, but one of the things other things we do as a shortcut are these potatoes. I get the cans of pre-sliced potatoes, saves on the whole boiling and cutting them up. So these are perfect. You just grab these. When the time's right, you dump it in, and it's almost no effort. So the recipe calls for we got that. This is our kitchen galley computer. We use this to get to the ship's database in order to pick up recipes. If we need to actually do a quick check and see if we need any ingredients or if we need to change it up a little bit. See, that's looking good. That's cooking up good. We like that. The captain will like that. Happy captain, happy life. So we got the bacon heating up pretty good. I'm going to throw some onions in here for the sauerkraut. Onion. I use an earth onion. This is a sweet Vidalia onion, one of my favorites. So, a little bit sweet, a little bit flavorful there. Cook that up. And we need to turn this up a little bit so it cooks a little faster. Cook faster! Giving it all she's got. See, it's cooking up nice. And this one, still going up here, still cooking up good here. The butter is nicely melted, and the bacon is cooking up. In a moment, I will throw in these potatoes, and I will show you how we Andorian them up. It's time to flip the schnitzel. Okay, this is something which is a little bit treacherous, so watch out. See how crispy it is on the edges? We like that. So we're just going to let that cook up till we know it's done, and I'll let it drain. But for now, we will let it cook. So two Klingons walk into a bar. You think they would have seen it first. Okay, that was bad. So here come the potatoes. Now I did drain the potatoes. There's a little bit of liquid left on them, but I did drain them first. You want to break them up while they're in here. Because you don't want them diced. You can get a can of them diced, but I like them better sort of sliced and broken. It works better. And what you want to do next is you want to pour in some white wine vinegar. Now, I read the recipe. You're supposed to do a specific amount. I just pour it in. Oh, look at that. Glug, 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 glug. Glug, glug, glug. Pour in a bunch. But you say, hey, that seems like way too much vinegar. That's why you use some water. And you dilute it down a little bit, like so. And of course, you have to add the sugar. Ha. There we go. The sugar. And you mix it up really good, and you just let it cook. Breaking up the potatoes. You can taste it at some point and see if you want to adjust the flavor, more water, more vinegar, more sugar, whatever you prefer. But this is effectively where you want to be. You want to let this cook up. So we get it good and chopped up. Meanwhile, we've got the onions going. I think they need a little bit more. So get these going. We want to get these soft so that they blend in with the sauerkraut. And the sauerkraut is just any canned sauerkraut. It's nothing special. I've had fancy sauerkraut. I even have had Bajoran sauerkraut. It was pretty good. But any canned supermarket sauerkraut, anything you can go over to any off-world store and get, that works. So that's cooking good. This is getting there. We'll dump that in soon. I probably used a little too much oil in this, but that's okay because we're going to drain it. But look how yummy that looks. Ooh. Yes, very yummy. So, the next thing we're going to do is stop this avian intruder from chewing on the ship's computer. And then we're going to take this sauerkraut and dump it in. Mix it up together. And let it cook up. And we're going to add some caraway seeds. Just drop them on in. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit for flavor. And then we're going to add a packet of tomato paste. If you don't have a packet, you can use a can and just stow away what you don't use, but these packets are really good because they're 2 tablespoons, which is just right for this. It actually adds just the right amount. If you can find them, I recommend these highly because you don't end up wasting them. Because you know, sometimes you stick it in the galley fridge and then people forget it's there, and the next thing you know, you have to dump it in the replicator to clean up. So, and you know they give you grief when you dump too much stuff out. Then you mix this up really good and you let it cook. And the final thing that you need to make for this meal is the sauce that goes on top of the schnitzel. And this is really easy, and it's, I'm going to show you. You grab a hunk of butter. You put it in a little pot. I'm going to do about this much in a little pot. Told you this was not low fat. You put it on low heat. You add some lemon juice. That's it. You do it to taste. You want to have a lemony, buttery taste. It's just basically a lemon butter. You let it cook up. All you need another spoon, or this will work. You just let it cook up and stir it so that it doesn't burn. And that's the topping for your schnitzel. And effectively, that's it. After this cooks up and everything, these onions and sauerkraut have mixed up really well and are nice and soft. This is done. The potatoes are effectively done, but I'm letting them soak up the flavor of the vinegar, and that should take not too long at all. Just maybe 5-10 minutes, so that's all be done. This is done. So we're going to let this drain. Maybe give it one more flip and then let it drain. You can make it however brown you like. I like it a little on the brown side. Some people like it a little less. But this is effectively done. I'm going to take it out in a moment and put it in this to drain. And when the sauce is melted, we're good to go and we're done. Quick Endorian schnitzel.